I'm back with another video. This one's obviously kind of a different setting. I'm outside on my porch home. This is actually after my school shut down from Corona. This video was requested and it's how I condition my leather. So I have all three of my leather harnesses here. So I have my guide harness here, and then I have the pet style harness. So this is just the red one, and then I have my Bridgeport harness here, just my black one. I do condition all of these differently because of the different types of leather, more specifically like the dye on them, because obviously this one that's just a solid sturdy black where it's no dye on it, and this one that has dye are going to be done two different ways, because if I don't do this correctly, then the dye can actually be stripped out. So first off, I want to show what I use. So I just have this little leather brush. I just got this off of Amazon. I'll link it down in the description box below. It's just like a bristle brush. I like how small it is because it's able to get the shoulder straps. And then I use the soft sole Mink Oil. Okay, so as I was saying, the one downside to this is that it does darken the leather. So if you have white or tan or anything like that, it's going to darken it. However, I still enjoy it, especially for my black harness, because you really can't get black or darker than black. And then I also have this Kiwi Leather Lotion. I like this for the lighter colored harnesses. I haven't had it where it affects it at all. This is obviously a new bottle. But yeah, these are all I just order off of Amazon, so I don't I can share. I know also Yup makes is another they make their own leather conditioner. I do kind of recommend to just go ahead and use that if you have a Yup harness, because it's not going to affect the leather at all. I'll probably invest in that later, but right now I'm going to use the cheaper stuff that I like to stick to. So anyways, let's go ahead. Oh, and a microfiber cloth. So this is just a rag that I use, is the last thing. So first off, obviously you want to take everything off of your harnesses. So that's for us, that's all of our little leash straps, leash tabs, pull straps, and that kind of stuff. So we just take all those off. And then for this one, I'll have to remove the fleece to do this part of the handle. I don't know if I'm actually going to fully condition this because it was conditioned right before we got it. But, you guys will see. And then the next thing is taking apart your harness. So that's going to be completely removing every single part of it. So I like to just, pop off the chest plate first. So this is the all leather single strap support harness from Bridgeport. I'll link this in the description box below. Aries is a size medium for them versus his large to extra large for Yup. So I can just, so I just pop all of these off for this, like that. And then I like to pop the actual chest plate off as well. I also want to, so you have these two separate pieces. I also want to say, for conditioning, I do like to condition a certain way, but then for cleaning, I currently use saddle soap for the black harness, and I haven't found anything I like to use for the dyed leather. I'm actually asking in the Yup group right now to see if I can find something. So then with this part just kind of pulls off, and that way you can condition this and the full the full strap here. From that's the smallest you can get, this area, because you can't pop any of this off. It's all sewn into place. So that's for this one. And then for my Yup harnesses, so I'll start with this one here. I like to just go ahead and pop all this out. Also, this one I haven't actually conditioned before. I want to just state that because it's we've had it for very little time, and I didn't condition it when I first got it because I wasn't sure, because I believe this one's, this one looks to be either dyed or red, so I didn't want to condition it the wrong way. So for this, that's obviously the smallest you can do. Some people like to disconnect the whole girth and like let this out. I personally don't. I just kind of condition both sides here and then don't get this like underneath this. It's so little that I'm not worried about it, and I don't like to have to readjust it because I'm lazy. So for this, like with the buckles, I actually can't like get the actual chest plate off of here. So this one is a little different. I just want to say that, but I can still like, you know, remove this fully. And then this one, it's just obviously I start off with popping the handle off. So that's one part. And then popping this strap off because it's a double belly one. So I just do that. And then there's that part. And then I will remove this strap because I can remove both sides on here. So there's that, and then pop this out right here with the quick release. There's the chest plate. Once again, I can't like get this out, but I mean, if you want to, you can pop these off and actually like condition, but just with how it is, I don't think I can get, yeah. All right, so that's just what it looks like there, all separated. For this, I'm actually going to go ahead and start with these ones because I like to use this first and then go to my Mink Oil because I only have the one brush. I'll probably end up investing in another one shortly after this video, but right now I'm not. So I just kind of like to take, so I want to say these ones are both leather padded for the Yup. So I just like to take a little bit of this on, actually like on the brush. Like that, and then I'll just take it and start here and kind of like massage it in. So anyways, as I said, just like small circular motions all over the harness, and I like to get everywhere, as I said. So I'm going to finish doing this part of this off camera, and then I will come back on. I'll probably like come back on for the bunny loops to show how I do those, and yeah. And then like obviously for like the other parts of the harness. So nice. Okay, so I've fully conditioned everywhere except for the bunny loops, and then obviously the handle. I'm not going to worry about the handle because this is new fleece and I really don't want to like replace it right now. I can do a video later on how I replace the fleece if you guys would like. Although in the end, I do plan to replace it completely with the sheepskin covers from Yup, but I'm not going to put that order in until I order our custom made. So for the bunny ears, I just wanted to show that I do actually do them the exact same way. It's just floppy leather instead of being sturdy, so it's similar to the straps. And then for getting inside, I just kind of like go like this. It is a little harder to get in, but I do like to condition the underside as well. So just, you know, move the brush along, and then I'll do the same for the other side. So okay, so I've gotten the whole thing conditioned now. That includes the bunny ears, and they're like drying. The rest of the harness is dry now, so I'd like to show where the microfiber cloth comes in. So areas that are dry already, so you can see it's like, for me, it's actually like a little tacky with this, but it's enough that I feel like it's had time to like soak in. So I just like take the microfiber cloth and I like to just kind of like rub it. It's kind of like rubbing it off and in at the same time. I don't like just take it and like go like this. I just kind of like take my fingers and like massage it. So I'm like, you know, kind of like doing slow little motions as I rub. And that seems to work well for us. And then for the upper part, it's still just the same thing. And I do that over the whole harness. I love this part. So again, it's just slow motions all the way along the entirety of the harness. So I'm gonna finish that off camera. Alright, so I just finished the harness, like massaging everything afterwards. So I'm gonna move on to the chest plate, and then to the belly straps, and then to the handle of this one. And this is still just our pink and white one. So for this, as I said, I usually just kind of put it straight on the brush. Another alternative is actually just putting it like straight on the harness, which is what I'm going to do here to show you guys how I work with that. So I just kind of do a couple of dots here and there, so it kind of looks like that. And then I just take the harness and massage it in. And then when I'm doing this, I like to make sure that I like move this stuff, and then if I can, like adjust this and get like there, so I get the whole thing, and then I pull it back out. It's gonna need to dry first, so I like to just kind of set it on the ground, and then I'll move on to the next piece while that dries, and then come back and do the microfiber. So for the straps, I obviously still just do, you know, a little drop on there and then massage it in, and that's what I'll do for both of these straps. Okay, so I finished the straps, so now I'm doing the handle. So for this one, as I said, I'm not going to take the fleece off, but I would like to show how I like do it on like the sides. Basically it's, as I said, the same kind of thing. With this one, I just try to do like keep it away from the fleece right now, and then just go straight down. And then I like to massage the end here, and then I'll come around and get the other side. So this one next, and then do my Bridgeport. I'm not going to take care of the sheep's wool today because I'm already starting to feel like just kind of worn out because it's already closer to the end of the day and I've done a lot today. And then just sitting outside. So this one I'm just kind of going to squirt some conditioner on here, and then just start massaging it in. For this one, I just kind of pick a spot to start and then just go for it. There's not as many ins and outs of this one because it is a pet style harness, so there's not as many just spots that you have to work around. So anywhere that I have standing, and I do want to say with conditioner, any conditioner, I don't know if you guys can tell in here, but as I'm conditioning, the leather is getting darker, and then it lightens back up once it's dried and wiped off. That's just a natural thing. So you can tell like here to here, like the conditioned leather is darker than the non-conditioned currently. But once I'm done with the conditioning aspect and it's dried, it will return to its normal color. I just want to state that because I know some people have conditioned and been like, oh my gosh, I destroyed my harness or my belt or whatever because it's gotten darker when they've started conditioning. That's just what happens when something gets wet. Although technically this isn't like getting, I don't know how to describe it because it's not really getting wet. But so then just go through and do the underside area here. So I'm just gonna squirt some conditioner on here and start. So this. Okay, so I just finished doing this harness. It's actually still drying, so I'm not gonna go ahead and wipe it off now, but I am gonna go ahead and start on my Bridgeport because I do want to kind of, as I said, wrap the video up. For this one I use Mink Oil, so I will show the difference between doing the two because my Mink Oil is just in a container. Okay, so for the Mink Oil, I just kind of like to wipe off the brush on here a little bit. So this is what I mean by like the dye, it comes off even when you're like conditioning it. So I don't know if you can see, like there's a little bit of red that's on here that's like making it look pink. But yeah, anyways, so for the Mink Oil, I just like go in and I get a little bit on the brush like so. That's a lot more than I meant to. So anyways, coated. and I will just go in on the straps and do what I did before. So that's just run it down in circular motions all the way along here. This actually smells really good. I want to say that. I know some people like are smell sensitive. The smell's not super strong, and honestly, it's a good smell. Like, I've always enjoyed what it smells like for both of these conditioners. And for this, a little bit goes a long way. I grabbed a lot more than I meant to, which I think what I grabbed is probably enough for all of the straps easily. So as I said, I just kind of like run it along, and this is just going to make it really nice. The other advantage with conditioning is it's going to make your harnesses really soft and just make them feel good, which is always a good bonus. So then I'm just going to go over and do the back with the same batch of oil. God, I grabbed a lot. And as I said, this advantage is this stuff is, like the Mink Oil that I did, is pretty cheap, so I'm not super concerned with the amount I grabbed. Like, I don't feel like I'm wasting it. And I'm not like, oh my gosh, I just threw like $10 down the drain, because that's not the case. As I said, I will leave everything that I use in the description box below, as well as the link to the harnesses, or where you can get one similar to this. So that's done. It's well saturated. You can see like it's kind of shiny right now, and then I'll just set that to the side as well. I'm gonna wipe my hands off first, and then move on to the chest plate, and then to the little, like, this part, and then to the harness. So I'm just gonna like dip this in instead. Okay, and then just kind of go all over the chest plate. And I've noticed, so for this, obviously I'm not going to get the back, because the back of the chest plate is sheep's wool. For the sheep wool, I just use like a pick, or another thing that works is a slicker brush that you just use on your dog, and just kind of like run it through there. Don't like brush it, but if you, like, as I said, pick it, then it works really well. Because this one I actually need to do the sheep's wool. I don't think I'm going to do it now in this video. If you guys want to see how I care for that, let me know, because I'll film another video caring for my harnesses. This, I just start here, go up, go along here. Make sure you move your buckles, and massage this in. So I do this whole like top outer portion kind of thing on all of it. So I just kind of go around and do this. Get that here. Pop it up, and to get here, and then do this and get all along here. Oop, there we go. Hold and go like that, and then there. So that's gotten the whole like outer area, and then like do like the edges also of this. So I just kind of turn the handle and do that. Okay, and then I'll get back in and do along here next. So this is along like the saddle area, and then you can actually pull this area down, and I like to get in here. So this separates from where the sort of held, and to do that. Alright, and then from there I'll do the strap. along the whole strap length, and then I will flip it over and do the back of the strap. So we chip in some more. Just do the entirety of the strap. So there's that. So I will say for leather gear, I would kind of just have like a day that you dedicate to caring for it. As I've said, this is like my problem with the red dye, because it just kind of comes off on everything if it's any. So like this will not get worn at all ever in rain, because I'll have a red dog, or any sort of like moist weather. So like during the summer it'll probably get put up because we have really, really humid summers here. You can hear the barking, it's not my dogs. Just want to say that. It's actually the neighbor. I believe she's Yorkies. I know she has some little dog. And buckles. And now that that's all conditioned, I put these straps back on. So for this one, I have the two in training. Patience and love wraps that I just attach. So it looks like that. So these are dry, so I'm just going to go ahead and start to wipe them down as well. And I do want to say, personally, I prefer Mink Oil over anything else for conditioning, because it does definitely like saturate and just make it like a lot nicer. In my opinion, like Mink Oil feels a lot better than the other conditioners I've used do. But as I said, like the fact that it darkens leather, it's not worth it for my white harness, just because I like having that pure white. This down. And conditioning will get off like little bits of dirt, but if you have like a really dirty harness, I suggest doing a cleaning. I think I said that in the beginning. Obviously cleaning is another part of caring for leather. You can't just expect to condition it and it just take care of itself like you still do. Like if your dog rolls in mud, conditioning is not going to fix it. You're going to have to clean it. And there's a certain way of caring for it. And then I'll put all of our leash straps and stuff back on, so this one gets no slot. So for these ones, these are those Patience and Love ones that say multi-purpose on one side and then the do not interact on the other. So I like to put one side with the multi-purpose out and one side with the do not interact out. I'm probably going to do a video since I'm home. I have a ton of time to film, so I'm probably going to go ahead and do a video on how I clean all of my gear. That's my fleece harnesses, and like wraps and stuff like that. And then also a video on just how we, yeah, and then how I store my gear, and then another gear tour. So that's just the tab. I do put it up here on these D-rings, but I like people to see it. So anyways, I hope this video helped anybody out that has leather gear and they don't quite know how to care for it. If it did, let me know down below because, oh god, okay, I do enjoy filming these videos. So anyways, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed.